Welcome to Turkish Spotlight Secrets, the place where whispered rumors become stories you can't stop thinking about. Before we dive into today's whirlwind, hit subscribe, tap like, and consider joining our community with the join button for access to exclusive backstage chatter and deeper dives you won't find anywhere else. Now, let's get into it, because the past few days have delivered a plot twist straight from a cinematic script, and it centers on two names you know, Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel. Here's what everyone is talking about. An internationally famous British action legend, the kind of box office force whose films ignite theaters around the world, crossed paths with Yağmur at a discreet, invitation-only event in London. The night was polished, elegant, full of velvet curtains and guarded smiles. According to those who saw them, the conversation began about craft and ambition. He had a project in development, a gritty, high-octane film with a surprising emotional core, and he believed Yağmur was the exact spark the script needed. It sounded like a career-defining part, the sort of role that can turn a local sensation into a global name. But that wasn't all. The murmurs say that the conversation pivoted from screen to heart. Struck by Yağmur's composure, humor, and the warmth she carries so naturally, he added a personal confession that left even seasoned insiders shocked. It was not a casual compliment. It was a bold pledge of intent, the kind that felt far bigger than a casting offer. Some at that party insist it sounded like a promise that could lead to something much more, a gesture many interpreted as a proposal packaged inside a professional invitation. A role and a declaration, at once. A door to Hollywood and a hand held out, asking what her future might look like. And that is where Barış steps into focus. If you followed their journey, you know the threads between Barış and Yağmur are tight, woven through shared sets, late-night rehearsals, and a bond that has always hovered between public and private. Sources close to their circle say that when the London story reached him, Barış stopped playing it cool. He spoke from the chest, not the script. One line, in particular, rippled through their entourage: he would not let anyone cloud Yağmur's path or tangle her heart. It was protective, a little fierce, and for many observers, beautifully transparent. Even those who have seen them navigate the spotlight say they'd never heard Barış speak with that much fire. If the London rumor was the spark, Barış's words were the oxygen. Suddenly, the headlines weren't just about a role. They were about a choice. Yağmur, who has been so clear lately about protecting her time and pouring herself into her craft, stayed quiet. No official statement. No interview. Her silence, however, did more talking than most press releases. It placed her at the intersection of two worlds. On one side, an international stage with dazzling opportunity and an unexpected personal overture. On the other, the Turkish scene she helped energize, and the steady, loyal presence of a man who knows her rhythms and history. From that moment, the public split into camps. You could feel the conversation ignite across timelines, comment sections, and group chats. Some voices, deeply romantic, urged Yağmur to listen to the heartbeat of the story, to acknowledge what Barış communicated without dressing it up. They see his words as overdue but authentic, a confession that has been simmering beneath the surface for too long. Others, just as passionate, say the universe has opened a rare door and she should run through it. They want her to seize the kind of opportunity that can redefine an artist's reach, to embrace the risk and show the world what a Turkish leading woman can do on an international set. Underneath the noise, there's admiration. Countless fans echo the same promise: whatever she chooses, they'll be there, championing her. Because this is not just gossip. It's an inflection point. If she accepts the part, it doesn't just crown a new chapter in her career, it marks a moment for Turkish cinema, with one of its brightest stars taking a leap across borders. If she turns toward the man who raised his voice for her, it becomes a love story clarified in real time, a revelation of what strength looks like when it's rooted in care. People who work close to Yağmur suggest that a decision is coming soon, not months from now, but days. And it's easy to understand why. Studios schedule quickly, scripts move, and momentum rarely waits. The British star's team, we're told, is ready to greenlight the project the moment she says yes. For those who wonder if the personal and professional offers are conflated, Insiders hint that the lines were deliberately blurred. The gesture was meant to be unforgettable. It was a way of saying that art and intimacy sometimes walk the same corridor, and that she has the right to choose which door to open. Meanwhile, the sentence from Baris repeats like a refrain. He will not watch while someone else draws a map for Yagmar's future. To some, that stance reads as territorial. To others, it's a long-awaited disclosure, a way of putting feelings on the table without theatrics. This is the Baris fans recognize: steady but stubborn, protective but passionate, the kind of man who believes commitment is a verb you prove with action, not a word you toss to the crowd. What makes this moment electric is that there's no villain in sight. The British star admired what millions admire. He saw a throw of light across her face and imagined a story big enough to hold it. He put an offer on the table that few people would refuse, and then he added a human truth. In another timeline, that might be simple. But in this one, there is history, there are memories, and there is a man whose life has been braided with hers in ways a stranger cannot mimic on a single glamorous evening. You can practically feel the tension humming in the industry. Casting directors whisper about timing. Producers wonder about contracts. Stylists joke that one decision will change the palette for the next 2 seasons of red carpets. Friends say Yagmar has been spending late nights reading scripts, revisiting old messages, breathing, keeping her circle close, and asking herself the question only she can answer: what kind of woman does she want to be in this chapter? The one who bets on the biggest possible stage, or the one who anchors herself to the person who held her steady when the applause faded? Of course, there's a third path, and many of you have already pointed it out. What if she doesn't choose between heart and horizon? What if she sets terms that honor both? Could she take the role, shape it on her own timeline, and still honor the bond that exists with Baris? Could Baris, in turn, support her climb with the same fervor he used to defend it? If anyone can navigate that balance, it's a woman who has turned discipline into grace and a man who knows that love, when it matures, becomes collaboration. That's the fire underneath this story, not a triangle, but a test of alignment. The world is watching to see whether 2 artists can transform pressure into partnership, and whether a single daring offer can become an invitation to grow rather than a wedge to divide. If Yagmar walks onto an international set, she carries an entire audience with her, people who have laughed with her, cried with her, and memorized her performances line by line. If she turns toward the man who spoke up, she may be declaring that success tastes better when shared with someone who knows the cost. Let's talk about the practical stakes for a second. Accepting the role means time abroad, months of commitments, training, press, and a new cadence to her life. It means allowing a different culture's machine to shape the next moves, and trusting that she can keep her identity intact. It also means access to a global platform that could introduce her to directors who speak in festivals and make classics out of risks. Saying no, on the other hand, is not surrender. It can be a choice of curation, an act of sovereignty, a declaration that timing matters more than noise. It could mean leaning into projects at home that allow her to evolve without changing her compass. As for Baris, whatever happens, his comment will linger. You can't unhear a line like that. It has already shifted the narrative surrounding him. For months, people have speculated about him, her, and the almosts between them. Now the question isn't whether there is feeling, it's what they will do with it. Will he step back and trust her to steer? Will he step forward and make a promise of his own, one that has nothing to do with protecting and everything to do with building? Those who know him say he's ready to prove that devotion is not a leash but a light. And what about the British star? He waits, we're told, confidently, but not arrogantly. Success at his level teaches patience. If she says yes, he gets the leading woman he wanted. If she says no, he still spoke the truth as he felt it in that moment. In a way, that's what separates empty spectacle from a human story. Someone was brave enough to say what they wanted, knowing that the answer might burn. Here's where we are. A decision is approaching. Fans are refreshing feeds, scanning for clues in captions and outfits and the way eyes look when they're hiding something. People post messages of support for Yagmar, telling her to trust herself and take the path that feels like home, whether that home is a set on the other side of the world or a familiar voice in the dark telling her he believes in her. And through all of it, she has kept a calm surface, a professional poise that suggests the answer will come when it's ready, not when we demand it. So, where do you stand? Do you want to see Yagmur cross that ocean, step into the light of a global blockbuster, and show the industry what a Turkish powerhouse can do on any stage? Or do you believe that Bari's words deserve a reply that echoes as loudly as the offer she received, a reply that says love is not a distraction but an anchor? Maybe your heart is split right down the middle, hoping she finds a way to hold both truths at once, to let ambition and affection sit at the same table without making each other smaller. Tell us your thoughts below. If you were in Yagmur's place, what would you do? If you were Bari's, what would you say next? And while you're there, let us know which other stars from Turkish cinema and television you want to see in our upcoming videos. We're building the next slate with your ideas at the center. Thank you for spending this time with us here at Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed the story, and support this channel by clicking join so we can keep bringing you the conversations everyone else whispers about. We'll be back soon with more revelations from the glittering collision of Turkish artistry and international fame. Until then, keep your eyes open and your heart ready, because in this business, today's rumor is often tomorrow's turning point.